Today, the judge overseeing Donald Trump's classified documents case will hear arguments on whether to bar him from making public comments about FBI agents working on the case. Prosecutors say the former president's comments could endanger their lives. This in light of his false claims that the agents who searched his Mar-a-Lago home were out to kill him and his family. The CBS News campaign reporter Katrina Kaufman is outside of the courthouse in Fort Pierce, Florida, with the very latest. So let us talk about this, Katrina. What do prosecutors need to prove in order for... Well, actually, let me first ask you this. I want you to tell us what prosecutors need to prove in order for the judge to issue a limited gag order for Donald Trump. But I also want you to remind people what Donald Trump said about the search warrant and why he's saying that FBI agents were out to kill him.
So Trump has said that in this search warrant, essentially the FBI has what Jack Smith says is a standard form that's always used in these FBI searches. And there's some language in it that authorizes the use of deadly force only when necessary. He says that Trump misquoted him and that Trump claims that Smith had authorized the use of deadly force when he was at Mar-a-Lago and that this was a potential attempt to assassinate Trump and his family. Smith actually says that there was coordination with Trump's team. They knew that Trump and his family weren't even going to be at Mar-a-Lago that day, but that Trump's rhetoric about this, which has been in posts, in emails, in statements, threatens the lives of these law enforcement professionals that participated in the search and who are part of this case and potential witnesses as well. And the threshold that the judge will be making a decision on is there's always a balancing act between a defendant's right to free speech and the fair administration of justice. And the First Amendment is a very high bar. So Jack Smith will have to prove to Judge Eileen Cannon that these threats are severe enough that they could impact the fair administration of this trial.
All right, so I want to ask you about something else. Judge Cannon is also going to be hearing additional arguments today related to the Justice Department's appointment and funding of Special Counsel Jack Smith. Of course, this is the team who brought the charges. What are Trump's attorneys arguing? Because this is the case we talked about before, where many legal scholars were surprised that Judge Cannon was letting this move forward.
You're absolutely right, Anne-Marie. Legal scholars are surprised she's even holding a hearing on this. But what Trump is arguing is that Jack Smith is unlawfully funded, that violates the appropriations clause of the Constitution, and as a result, this entire indictment should be dismissed. Specifically, Trump is saying that rather than being paid out of the Department of Justice's ordinary budget, Smith is being paid out of what's called a permanent indefinite appropriation. This is something that was set up years ago to pay for independent counsels, but the specific act that it was established under actually expired in 1999. So Trump says that Smith should not be paid in this way. He doesn't qualify as an independent counsel, and this no longer exists as a premise for it. However, Smith contends that there is a long-standing practice and history of paying special counsels in this way, even after that act expired, and even under Trump's own administration. And moreover, Smith says that even if Trump is right, which he says he's not, about this funding issue, that it's really more of a technical issue about the source of where Smith's financing is coming from, and it doesn't actually prejudice Trump as a defendant in any way or impact the trial.
All right, Katrina, thank you.